We're doing our 2021 in review board game edition, or we're doing our 2021 board game in review.
We're going over our top 10 board games of 2021.
Yes, the year that we got into board games. So
yeah,
we got a lot of them. Oh wait, I don't have 10, but
we have a lot of board games in total.
Yes, in total. Not even a whole year.
Actually, yeah.
I think we started playing board games in like February or March.
It was probably March.
Because
it was February. That was like the start of it all.
Well, the Game of Life.
Yes.
I remember.
Actually.
Game of Life?
Game of Life. I've totally forgot about it. It's not on the list.
It's not on my list either.
Whack.
Even though it's like, I think it was our first board game together.
It was.
How sweet. We'll put it in the honorable mentions.
I don't know why I even thought to bring it, but I just thought it would have been, I thought it was going to be fun. And it was fun.
It was fun. I guess I'll start with my number 10.
Yeah.
Star Realms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You want to talk about why that's your number 10?
Wow. Deck building. I didn't realize I liked deck building so much. But actually a lot of fun.
Actually super fun.
I mean, I guess it makes sense because I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot when I was a kid. And that's like definitely deck building. But like being able to deck build during the game, actually pretty lit. So that's why I like it a lot.
Okay.
What about your number 10?
My number 10, Dune Imperium.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I actually really enjoyed the game. I know that when we were playing it, I kept like bashing on the AI, but I think it added like a new cool element because I don't think we've ever played a game with an AI.
Right.
That was the first one. So it was cool.
That was cool.
Even though the AI was dumb. But deck building in a sense, but there was also like not worker placement. It's not cool,
it's worker placement.
Yeah, worker placement plus deck building, which I really enjoy. Both. So
I think we got a little crossover episode going on because I got Dune on my list.
Oh,
a little bit later though.
Oh, all right.
Okay, ready for number 9?
Yeah.
We got War of the Ring.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Why?
Hold, please. I'm gonna let my dog out.
Okay, bye. Well, I like the genre of dudes on a map, and definitely lots of dudes on the map.
Definitely.
And I love war games, and it's definitely a very epic war game.
I mean, it's in the title.
Yeah. And Lord of the Rings is very cool too. I don't remember too much about it, but I know that whenever I watch the movies, I liked it a lot. And then the board game, it's just like, wow, that's just the movies.
Actually.
And I love the little miniatures. And you're able to control all the different factions, which is pretty cool. I love how there's some randomization to it. There's actually a decent amount of randomization to it.
Quite a bit.
But I feel like because of the randomization, it adds to like the replayability a bit too. And yeah, I mean, I like it a lot. I like it enough for it to be in my top 10.
That's crazy to me.
Why?
Lord of the Rings did not make it to my top 10.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, and that's whack to say because I love Lord of the Rings. But my biggest thing with Lord of the Rings is it's exactly what you said, that it's just like the movies. Maybe I watched the movies too many times. There's no such thing, right? But for me, I think the replayability is a little not there. Because, I mean, though there are some like randomness to it, it's still essentially you're going to Mordor or you're trying to stop them from going to Mordor. I mean, there's different ways to go about it too, but still.
Right. Okay.
And it's just, fair. I mean, I love that it's a big game, but the setup, too long. Like,
I mean, yes, that's why it's number 9 and not up there.
Yeah, I mean, the different factions are cool and great once you've separated them, but when they're not separate, it's a nightmare.
I see. I understand.
Okay, ready for my number?
Yeah.
It's Disney Villainous.
Oh my god, that's a good one. That's a good choice. Very good choice.
I actually really liked it a lot when you introduced it. I just think, first of all, board game, small. It's kind of like there's no limit to it because you can just keep adding more villains. And it's not so much like you're going against each other head on. It's just a slight interference, which sometimes I like, because I don't too much versus against each other. Not that fun, because I don't like going against you in that way, because sometimes my feelings get hurt.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay, and I don't want your feelings to get hurt either. And you know this. And if you've ever played board games, or if you've ever watched us, I guess, play board games, you would see that I would get upset quite often.
I think it's funny that you say that, because like I think we're the only ones going to watch this, but if someone else happens to watch this, well, I am surprised about Villain. I mean, it's good. Really? It's a lot of fun.
Really?
Yeah. I like it too. It's not on my list, but I have a lot of fun with it. Yeah. I think I like games where you interact with each other more. And that game definitely is like, you do your own stuff for the most part. And there's like a little bit of interaction, but I don't think there's enough.
Maybe because you weren't on my end of the stick.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess...
Because you definitely influenced a lot of mine. But I didn't do anything to yours.
Yeah, I guess it just depends on like who you're playing and who you play against too.
That's true.
Yeah.
I just like that you can just keep adding more to it.
Yeah, me too. That's a good one. What was that, number 9?
Yeah.
Okay, number 8. You ready?
Yeah.
Claustrophobia, 1643.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a good one.
I like that one a lot too. I just like it because typically dungeon crawlers, you have to have like a lot of people to play each character. But that one is just one versus one.
That's true. Yeah. That's true.
And I mean, it's as simple as that. I like going out throughout the dungeon, and it's pretty much infinite replayability because the different scenarios, and then the map's not always going to be the same. And the miniatures are very pretty.
That's true. We're just a sucker for miniatures, I think.
Is that a surprise though?
No.
But yeah,
especially with our upcoming board games that are coming this year.
Actually, I hope by the time we watch this again, I mean maybe not in the near future, but like hopefully by next year we'll have like all the board games we want and have ordered months ago. Yeah. This is January 7th. 2022. Oh my god. That's Claustrophobia. Nothing else to add to it. I just like it a lot, and we can play it with 2 players.
Okay, my number 8, Nemesis.
Wow. I was expecting it to be a little bit higher.
Oh. Yeah, you know. See, I it was hard to place them in order because I feel like I can't. I think you already know this, but there's only one game that holds number 1 spot in my heart, and everything else just kind of like meh. Not meh, but like it's all like really good. Like you know how there's like S tier, B tier. It's like we got one S tier, and then we got a lot of A tiers. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I mean, at least it still made it to my top.
Yeah, 10. No,
but Nemesis, great. Like you mentioned, we're a sucker for figures, so lots of really good figurines. I think there's a lot more randomness to it that makes it more fun, and that makes the scenario, or like makes replaying it not too like predictable. I mean, essentially your goal is to either survive or to blow up, whatever, depending. But I just like it because it's hard too. Yeah. So it's not too easy. Yeah. And it's either I like the fact that it can either be co-op or versus, depending on your objectives. Yeah. So and you don't really know. Because I remember we played one time with I think Frost, Ben, and your uncle, and you totally like stabbed Ben in the back. Yeah, and no one knew, and I was shocked. I was very shook. I was like, oh. Okay. Okay, so I love Nemesis is in my list somewhere too. And I think the only thing I don't like about Nemesis is the versus mode, or not versus mode, but like the mode where there could potentially be like a traitor. Why? And just because sometimes it just doesn't make sense to do because you have the cards. You either do the objective that helps everyone, or the objective that you betray somebody. That's true. And sometimes it's just like you really have to go out of your way to betray someone. Yeah. So unless your goal is to like just betray someone that game, it's like it doesn't make the most sense. That's true. To do it unless it's just difficult to do your friendly objective, I guess is the better term for it. That's true. Maybe in the future they can like make more.
Yeah, I mean they have the new Nemesis coming out.
That's true, so, which we have coming maybe.
By the time we watch this video, it'll probably be here.
But I mean I enjoyed Nemesis.
Yeah, me too. It's a lot of fun.
I like that we can play it 1 to 2 or 2 players, but also translate it to other people when needed. Kind
of makes me want to play Nemesis this weekend.
We got 2 other board games lined up. Sorry, baby.
Number 7. I did have to switch mine around a little bit.
Oh.
My number 7 is viticulture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a Roman too.
Bye. Sorry. My number 7 is viticulture.
What?
It's like it's funny because we had to redo it. And so your first one was like genuine, and not that this one wasn't genuine, but it was like I feel like because you already said it, I was like, it's not a what because you already know.
Oh,
that's okay.
It's my so I'm not an actress.
That's okay, baby. I still love you a ton.
Whack.
Yeah, viticulture is my number 7. I just love the theme of it. It's chill.
Like wine.
Huh?
Like wine.
That's the thing though, like I enjoy it, but I don't drink a lot of it. I don't really drink a lot of alcohol.
You don't.
But if I had to choose something to drink, wine would be like one of those top options for me. It's just chill. And then we play so many violent games that we have to kill each other. And so many cutthroat games where we're just like really at each other's necks. And just like, I want to defeat you so bad. But like not really, but like kind of.
Right. Just in game.
Yeah. So viticulture is nice because, we're just making wine and it is competitive, but it's also nice because I don't feel like I'm like having to kill any of your like people or anything. It's really just I'm making my wine, doing my own thing, and you're doing your own thing.
I mean, you I guess it's not killing. You just body block me.
Right, yeah. But there's still so many other things you could be doing to benefit yourself. So it's not like
you're screwed if like you block one thing.
Exactly. So depending on your strategy, it's cool because depending on what the other person does, you have to be flexible with what your strategy is. So lots of replayability in my opinion.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
It's just a lot of fun.
It is. My number 7 is Wingspan.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Good choice.
Yes. I think it made it to my list because we played it with your grandma.
Oh yeah.
Because it had when we first got it, we played it 1 or 2 times, maybe 3, but then we hadn't touched it since.
Yeah.
But when we played it recently, it just made me remember how fun it was.
Yeah.
It's still challenging to the point where like your objective cards and you want to get the most points, and sometimes it doesn't go your way, but you still gotta figure it out. It's not too complicated that you can't explain it to anyone.
Right.
Plus, it's really pretty. Our other board games very much like me versus you. This one, not so much.
This one is really
not
kind of independent.
Yeah.
Except for the whoever grabs the dice.
That's true. So that's one, and then whoever grabs the bird, I guess. But other than that, you pretty much do your own thing, which I'm non-confrontational, so I like it a lot.
Yeah.
But again, also super pretty. So
that's a good choice. I like that one a lot. Number 6. You had mentioned it already. Dune Imperium.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, I like it a lot. And then we already talked about it, so we don't have to go talk about it too much. Yeah. But I mainly like it because it combines worker placement and deck building, which we enjoy both of those a ton. I feel like it would be higher, but the only thing that throws me off a little bit, or it doesn't throw me off, but the only reason that it's not higher is because I feel like there's just a lot going on. There can be a lot going on at times.
That's true.
And with the AI, and I guess just the more people, getting blocked in that game is very...
Oh, that's true.
That's very I don't know what is the right word. Getting like I mean, maybe it's just the way I play too, because I have this strategy that I want to implement,
and then
but I can't.
Ruins it for you.
Exactly. So maybe I'm just biased because I feel like I always get blocked, especially right when I'm about to do something really cool. But
true.
I feel like with Dune Imperium, you have to be extremely flexible with what your strategy is, because you could be forced to change it at any second.
That's true. I forgot that part.
Yeah. I mean, still a great game. And the reason it's higher than Viticulture is because I like deck building, and it has a nice little deck building portion of the game. That's pretty important. So it's a good game, and I enjoyed it a lot. And Dune, just the universe is very cool. What is your number 6?
Number 6, Dice Throne.
Oh, wow. That's
I don't know what it is, but I just like the idea that it can be played multiple times and the results are never the same. I like that a lot. I like that it's also not too hard to set up, which is nice.
Yeah.
And it's just good versus game.
Yeah.
And just depending on like your luck and like what your opponent chooses as their character or whatever, it can just really change everything up.
And it's also one of the other first few board games that we played. That I think that was the one that really got us into board games.
You think so? Really?
Yeah.
I have a different idea in mind.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll come up here shortly.
Okay. Well, we're on to number 5 now.
Yes.
Star Wars Rebellion.
Wow. Only 5? Or only number 5?
I feel like the top ones will make a little bit more sense and justify that being number 5.
Okay.
But
right.
yeah, that's my number 5.
Okay.
I mean, I love Star Wars a lot, so it's like, is that bias? But
I mean,
bit.
I didn't choose Lord of the Rings, and I love Lord of the Rings.
Right, exactly. So, both of them made my list, but and people like to compare Star Wars to War of the Ring, even though they are pretty different games.
Yeah.
They're just the biggest similarity is just they're very long,
yes.
and lots of pieces.
Yes.
Long setup.
Yes.
But Star Wars
also follows the movie.
And it follows the movie, sort of. That's the cool thing about Star Wars, and I like it so much because of how you could follow the movies if you want to, but you can also take your own you can pretty much change the way the story like plays out. Because I mean, at the end of the day, you're still either trying to blow up the Death Star, survive the Death Star, or if you're the Empire, find the rebel base, blow it up. So it's not like the endings are too different from the movies themselves.
True. But
the cool thing is the journey that you take to get there is what I really enjoy about the game.
That's really good.
Yeah.
And you can even argue that to the War of the Rings, where maybe I was too narrow-minded and was like, well, I mean, the angle's the same. But you were right. The journey is different every time. So. Well,
and then there's that thing too. War of the Rings a little bit lower because you could change the journey. But I feel like there isn't too much.
That's true.
That you can change. I mean, you can change your path. You can change what event cards you play, I guess. I forgot what the cards are, but you have special cards that you can play that have special abilities and provide you with whatever bonuses. But I don't know. Star Wars is a little bit more thematic because I feel like the cards do a little bit more for the players.
I agree.
And I guess I just know Star Wars more, so whenever I see something that happened, I can picture it as if I'm watching the movie in my head. And like whenever Lando found Yoda instead of Luke Skywalker. Because I think, if I remember correctly, I think I turned Luke to the dark side.
Yeah, you did.
Which was pretty lit. So
Lando had to go to Dagobah. And he couldn't even do anything. It was so whack.
But I just love how that led to that outcome. Like, right. I changed Luke's destiny and forced you to take Lando to Dagobah.
Yeah, actually.
So
it's still very cool.
It is very cool. And just picturing that, like, it doesn't make that much sense, but very entertaining.
But you can picture it in your mind.
Yeah. The combat's cool. I feel like it's a little...
Lackluster.
I don't know if lackluster is the right word, but I wish they did it differently. I honestly wouldn't mind if it was more... I would love to just be able to roll dice instead of having to play cards every time, and then going back and forth between space and land.
Oh yeah,
that's a little tedious. I think I'm just lazy. I think that's what we're understanding, is I'm lazy and I just want to roll some dice.
You can't have no space combat.
That's true.
Have no land combat.
Right, but I wish I could just roll all the dice. Like, just give me 200 dice and just...
Okay. Maybe we'll find a game like that.
Maybe. But yeah, that's my number 5, Star Wars Rebellion.
Okay. My number 5, 7 Wonders Duel.
Oh, okay.
Because I think that was what really got me into board games.
Which one did we play first?
I want to say Dice Stones was what we played first.
Okay.
But 7 Wonders was, I think, the very first thing for me where I actually had to sit down and read the rules and be like, oh, this is why, and this is what. And then also setting up where we're actually like having a shared space area. Does that make sense? Because with Dice Throne, you have your own stuff.
That's true.
Separate, and then you just roll dice. But it's like you take cards from each other, you wage a war.
Right.
So, also, very easy game to play. Setup, easy.
Yeah.
Box, small. Still has a cute little figurine.
Right.
And there's no... I mean, maybe a little bit of skill, but mostly chance. Which, sometimes doesn't really doesn't work for me, but when I just want to play a game or something and I don't really want to think, that would be one I would grab.
Okay. I see. That's a really good choice. Dice Throne. I saw the ad on Instagram. I thought that was cool.
That's so funny.
Yeah. I was like, oh, this looks like a cool game.
When did you even start? Or did you just see it and you're like, I'm curious.
Well, because I was looking at board games that we could play. Oh. Because I knew you didn't have a gaming PC or anything.
Oh, wait, that's so cute.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh, we can play board games. You don't have to have a gaming PC for board games.
Very true.
So yeah, I thought it was an easy one that we could play together.
That's so cute. I love that. Thanks.
That we spent probably over $1,000 on.
Oh, easy.
Easy. Okay. Number 4.
I'm not looking.
Dice Throne.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yes. You know how earlier in number 5 with Star Wars, I was like, man, I wish I could just roll some dice.
Yeah.
literally number 4.
This is it.
So we talked about it a little bit already, but yeah, for me, Dice Throne was the game that I feel like got me really into board games. I love rolling dice. Just rolling them. It's just so satisfying. I just love being like... And I also like it because it's not just rolling dice. There's also you upgrading your character that you're playing as. I mean, there have been games where I don't upgrade anything at all,
but it's nice to have that option.
I enjoy the option of being able to upgrade.
And also just depends on the hand that you draw.
Yeah, that is true too. And I mean, it's simple enough to where you can tell someone how to play it, and they'll understand in just a few minutes.
Did you like playing Dice Swords with more than one other person?
Oh no, I hate playing Dice Swords with more than one person.
That's what I thought.
More than just the 2 people that are playing it. So
I haven't played Dice Stones with more than 2.
Yeah, it's rough because there's so much downtime.
Because you make your move, and then if there's 3 other people, they're deciding what to do, and then they're taking their time to make their decision. We have roller dice, we can re-roll it. Too much. I just would rather only have one opponent.
Long story short, I love rolling dice. I love the variety of characters. They all feel very different, which is very cool.
Excited for the Marvel.
I'm excited for Marvel too. And I don't know, it's just fun, easy, quick, not too thinky. I can just play it whenever I'm not feeling like thinking.
That's true. No,
But thinking is important too, because you gotta make your decision on what dice to re-roll if you are gonna re-roll anything.
It's not too strategy heavy.
Yes, it's a very light game. So that's my number 4.
Okay, my number 4. Viticulture.
Oh, that's a good one.
Game, super fun.
Very fun.
I actually like it a lot.
Me too.
Again, maybe because I'm the non-confrontational kind.
Mm-hmm.
It's not too all up in your face, and you're not all up in my face all the time, which I like.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a really chill game. So I think it's a good game. Replayability, I probably close to endless, just because you can. It's not the end goal is just to get the most points, so you can do that however you want to.
Right, exactly.
And I think it'd be cool and interesting to try it with more than just us two.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe someday, hopefully.
Yeah.
Just so I can see how that's like.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that might change it from where. But I like it when it's just us two.
Me too. That's a really good one. I like that one a lot.
It's not too hard either.
It really isn't. It kind of feels like Dune sometimes.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like I can be more flexible with Viticulture than I can be with Dune.
That's true.
Yeah. Anyway, number 3, Nemesis.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I know you really enjoy Nemesis.
I enjoy Nemesis a lot, and not just because of the miniatures.
Although it's pretty big deal.
Like half the reason I love it so much. The other half is broken up into multiple little segments or reasons, but mainly the thematicness, how thematic the game is. I really feel like I'm on. What?
Go ahead.
I really feel like I'm on, or in a spaceship, trying to survive these aliens that are trying to kill myself and whoever else is on the spaceship. We already talked about it a little bit, but the co-op and the potential versus mode, even though I personally prefer playing the co-op mode, it is nice to have the potential of someone betraying me. Even though I would prefer if they didn't betray me specifically. I love the idea of having someone that might be trying to kill me. But it's also very cool if you do decide to kill someone, or if someone's trying to kill you, they can't directly kill you. They have to kill you in another way, or try to get you killed by the alien, or if you get trapped in the airlock and they can make you fly out the airlock. Yeah, it's a big accident. But I mean, not to go on too long about it because we already talked about it, but I do enjoy how thematic the game is. The miniatures are great. The different modes that you can play are nice, and the character variety.
Oh, that's true. I didn't even touch on that, but yeah. Yeah,
the character variety is really cool. You can really feel the difference of each character. I mean, they do have similar cards in their respective decks, but their unique cards that make them special really help them stand out, and you really feel like you're playing that character. What else? I feel like that's really. The one last thing. The main reason I like it so much is the uniqueness of the gameplay, because I don't think we have any other board game that's like it.
At least not ones that we played.
Right. I'm sure there's stuff out there that's similar to it, but it really.
That you have to move and then do actions or something like that, or what?
Well, yeah, you're moving. There's a threat that you're not sure where it's going to come from.
I see. Okay. Yeah.
It just has. I mean, it has elements that are seen in all different types of board games, but combining those elements into one board game. I mean, it really feels like you're on a spaceship with an alien that's trying to kill you, or multiple aliens, because you don't know if it's going to pop up in that room or pop up in someone else's room. And it's so unique, and I think I like it. I have it at number 3 because of how unique it is.
Definitely shows that he's a film major for sure.
Why?
Because of the theme, baby. The theme.
Oh,
it's so thematic.
I guess thematicness.
Okay, my number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Star Wars Rebellion.
Oh, that's really high up there.
Yes.
Wow.
I actually, okay, I don't know, maybe because I'm such a new Star Wars fan or what, or maybe because the game upsets me so much when I'm not winning. That's why it's so fun for me. It's just, I don't know. We talked about it already, but I like that you can change the outcome. Like I said, my favorite part, or one of my favorite memories from playing it was when you caused me to force Lando into Dagobah. So that's funny. And I don't know. It's just playing both sides, very fun. How about that? Like I haven't played War of the Ring from the good people side, so I don't know how it is. But Star Wars, I have fun playing the Empire, and I also have fun playing the Rebels, because I think that's very important, because you don't feel that one is too OP over the other.
Right. And that's the cool thing about that game too, is that with Star Wars, whenever you play each side, they both feel very different. With War of the Ring, I mean, you're building troops and you're just fighting each other.
Yeah.
But with the Rebels, you really shouldn't be fighting.
Yes, exactly.
And when you do...
I mean, you could.
You could. And, I mean, it's not like you can't win battles, but the Empire is definitely just...
overwhelming.
Yes, they're
powerful.
So you really don't want to unless you have to.
Right. And I don't think you could anyways, just depending on how you... I mean, I guess depending on how you go about it. Right.
And that's a cool thing, too. With the Empire, you could have a strategy of just attacking every single rebel that you see. Not the smartest thing to do, but that's something you can do.
Every planet that you want to.
Or blowing up any planet, yeah. I love how varied the gameplay is and how distinct each faction is. So I didn't mean to take away from your comments.
Putting words in my mouth.
Yeah, I didn't mean to do that.
Way.
Okay.
In a good way. But yeah, it's super exciting for me. I don't know. It's just a really good game.
Yeah. Number 2?
Yeah.
Mythic Battles. Pantheon. Why are you laughing?
Go ahead.
I love it because of the just everything about it is just so good. The drafting, the first thing you have to do in the game is draft. I don't know if it's because when I was a kid, I was super into the NFL and just all the different like sports, but mainly NFL. And the NFL draft day was a pretty big deal. And I always just thought that, wow, just picking your favorite player or whatever player you think is going to do the best for your team is just the coolest thing ever. And even today, whenever I play sports games, I like doing the little draft where you can choose who you want. I did fantasy football. There's lots of drafting in that too. I just love drafting. Drafting is such a fun thing to do, especially when you think you know what is the best for your team or your side. It's just a lot of fun. So that's just like the first thing about the game.
Actually,
there's like a
whole 10 list.
Yeah.
Top 10 things I like about Mythic Battles.
It's very, very varied. Each character, each unit has its own has its similarities. Like they are unique, but they're also similar in different ways. But one unit is not going to be a duplicate of another unit. Lots of strategy. Like I said earlier, you have your own strategy. I think when I said mind games, I misspoke. I meant to say that you have your own strategy and your opponent has their strategy, and you don't know what cards your opponent has in their hand. But you also don't want to assume that you can do your strategy and not deal with your opponent getting in the way. So there's a lot of thinking going on. There is some randomization and with the dice and the cards that you draw, but I feel like there's a good balance between the randomization and the strategy. There's so many things you could do.
That's true.
There's like no perfect strategy to the game because of the randomness.
Yes.
So I don't know. I just love it so much. The miniatures, beautiful. We'd never even seen it in person, but on tabletop they look great. So I'm sure they'll look great in person as well. And just rolling dice. Just love my dice rolls.
Actually, though. Okay, ready for mine?
Yes.
My number 2, Mythic Battles Pantheon.
Oh my god, I didn't. I have no idea. That's crazy.
I mean, pretty much said it all. I like the gameplay, how it's random every single time, just depending on your draft. Literally probably millions of different possibilities, different like teams that you could form. So the replayability, really good. I mean, your objective is the same, either kill your opponent or collect the unfollows. But just the journey to get there is different every time.
Yeah.
And like you said, no perfect strategy. I actually really enjoyed the uniqueness of every character. Maybe you're not studying it in depth, but you kind of have a general idea of what the other person's character can do.
Right.
Figurines, very pretty. I just like being able to move stuff places. I think that's good. I guess the dice rolling is good too.
It is an interesting dice rolling system.
It is.
Like the way combat works is very interesting.
I mean, I'm not mad at it.
No, I'm not mad either. I know that whenever we first started playing, I was like, what?
Yeah.
A 5? What about 5s?
It made no sense, but once you get into it, I guess.
Once it makes sense, it makes sense.
And I don't know, it's just a really good game.
It's a lot of fun.
Again, it's one of those games that make me very upset if I'm not winning. So I think that's an indicator that I enjoy the game.
It shows you're very passionate.
Yes.
I think I know what your number 1 is.
I think you know what my number 1 is.
Pretty sure it's the same. I'll be very surprised if it isn't the same.
Yeah.
So why don't you start us off with your number 1?
My number 1 board game of 2021 is Scythe.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
I know it's
Mine too.
Big shocker there.
Yeah.
Not like I rave about Scythe every chance I get.
Yeah.
I think so. I talked about how Seven Wonders was the game that kind of got me into board games, but Scythe was the one that made me fall in love with board games.
I would have to agree with that one for sure.
Because I think it was one of the first complex games that I finally understood after a while. It was frustrating at first because I didn't know what I was doing. I think I lost terribly the first couple games that I played, but it wasn't like, oh, I hate this. Like, ugh. It was more like, I know what I did wrong. I kind of want to try a different way next time.
Yeah.
So it just it made me like actually look up strategies to beat you.
Wait, is that how you've been doing so well?
No. But no, I think for real though, that's probably the first and maybe one of the only board games that I actually had to look up strategies because I was upset with myself because I couldn't figure out how to like beat the game and beat my opponents. But I like all the factions. They're all unique. They're all great. I like the expansion that we got. It just added more to the game that made it more fun. But even just the base game itself.
Oh yeah, we've been playing the base game long before we got the expansion.
Right. And there's just different every time. It's not the same. I don't know, it's just really, really fun.
Yeah, it's really fun.
I like the worker placement. No deck building really, but just worker placement and just trying to optimize your turns every time.
Right, yeah.
So I like it a lot.
I mean, you pretty much hit everything on the dot. Nailed the nails in the plank.
Nailed it on the head.
Nailed it on the head.
Is that right?
I
know hit it on the dot.
You got a lot of good points. You listed a lot of them that I would list too. I guess for me, big on the thematicness. How thematic the game is.
I mean, it is. It's 1920s.
1920s.
Europa.
Yeah. And I think it's so interesting. I'm surprised you didn't mention it, but how I was really interested in getting the game because I thought it was cool. And you initially were not.
Oh, yeah. not about it. I was like, 1920s? Mechs? Huh?
I just thought it looked cool.
I mean, when I saw the board game like cover, I was like, but now I appreciate it. But when you first introduced it to me, I was like, okay. But I actually ended up falling in love with it.
And it's so nice because I think if you hadn't purchased it for us, I would have gotten it eventually. But I thought it was very sweet of you to purchase it because you knew I was very interested in it. Even you weren't even.
Yeah, I wasn't really interested in it, but I was like, he wants it, so okay.
Yeah, and then now it's our number one board game of 2021.
That's true.
So what was I gonna say? I love how
yeah, no, for sure.
What?
Does everything right.
Oh yes, Scythe definitely just.
It's so well made.
I can't complain about it. There's nothing to complain about.
It's not.
It's just a good game.
It is. Like, if you lose, that's on you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I think that's what makes it
I feel like
so fun.
I don't want to say it's a perfect game because I don't know if it's fair to say something's perfect.
Nothing's perfect.
But it does everything right.
Oh, it does not the same thing?
No.
What did I?
Mostly strategy. There's really not that much randomness to it other than the event cards and the combat cards, but they don't affect the game too much. And I don't know, I just love. I mean, in my list, I have a lot of thinky games, and that one is just so satisfying because you could think and try to do something very strategic in Mythic battles, but you could get screwed over so easily. In Scythe, I feel like there's not much screwing each other over.
Unless you do all-out fights.
Right, but that's not really like a normal strategy.
No, because you yourself also don't want to get into fights anyways, unless you have a perk or whatever.
Exactly.
But or at least in my experience, I haven't had someone who was so like battle hungry.
Right. It's pretty satisfying when you're doing your strategy and it just works out the way you want it to work out.
Yes.
I love the combo factor of it. Yes. It's like you can plan out your moves like at least 2 or 3 moves ahead, and then,
that's usually what you want to do anyways.
Yeah. I mean, people can like mess up your strategy a little bit.
Yeah.
And maybe not even mess up, but you see someone doing something, you're like, oh, I should stop that person from doing that. But I just love being able to think ahead, and then it's satisfying when you think ahead, you do what you were thinking, and it works out the way you wanted to work out. And the mechs are cool, and just everything about the game is very cool.
Yes.
All
those 100% yes. Strategy, like you said, I wrote that the strategy actually makes sense. Because I mean, there's no like it's maybe I'm biased, maybe because I just love this game so much, but it's just so good. It's
a very good game.
Although I don't want to say doubts, right? Because I'm pretty sure this would be still one of my all-time favorite games no matter what. I think it just depends, because depending on who you play with, just the replayability.
Oh, okay, that's true. Yeah, I guess it does depend on who you play with. Though I feel like with us, I feel like with the replayability with us is pretty high, just because there's so much space for us to do things in the game. There's a decent amount of factions to choose from, and then your strategy is going to vary each game.
And I guess I just thought about this right now, but like, if we were to just play by ourselves, I could freely try out. Not that like losing to you is meaningless or anything like that, or winning against you is meaningless, but I would be very much open to try out different factions and different strategies with you. So I think that would be fun too.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, yeah. Overall, Scythe, 10 out of 10 for the both of us.
Yes.
Just shows you how much we love Scythe. And I do like how we pretty much started the year with Scythe, or at least early on in our board game journey.
Yeah,
started with Scythe, and
it's still our number one.
It's still our number one. At the end of, or I guess the beginning of 2022.
Yeah, after like 30 plus other games.
Yeah, but yeah, I think great lists that we both have here.
You know, it was surprising. It was very interesting to hear your thoughts about some of the games.
And it was interesting to hear your thoughts too.
Yeah. I'm excited to do this again next year.
This was a lot of fun.
We'll actually have Great Wall on our list.
Oh my god, definitely going to be on the list. Unless for some reason. I mean, Star Wars too. But I don't know. There might be a surprise game that comes out. And it's
what? Oh, true.
Because we never know.
That's true. But we also have a bunch of new board games coming in that I'm very excited about.
Yes, same. So. We're also recording this in January, so
that's true.
Lots of games will probably come out by then.
Yeah.
And we'll see.
Well, yeah.
See what our list is in 2023 for 2022.
Yeah.
And we're gonna keep these games can still be on the list in 2023.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Just making sure. Okay, that was a lot of fun. It's an hour.
Dang.
That's crazy.
Gosh.
Thanks for watching.
See you in the future.
It's probably not gonna be an hour when I edit this video.
I hope not.
Yeah. For our sake and the viewer's sake.
Uh-huh.
Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.